Welcome to Who Knew with Bruce Lubin from quickanddirtytips.com. I'm Jennifer Boudneau, the editor of the Who Knew books. Last time we talked about the best life hacks and household tips in the world. But today, Bruce and I are going to be talking about the worst, the ones that don't work. We're also going to share some good tips from our audience and play another game of Life Hack Lightning Round. But first, let me introduce you to Bruce Lubin, co-author of the Who Knew books with his wife Jeannie, dad of 3 boys, and life hacker extraordinaire. Bruce, today I wanted to talk a minute about testing tips, specifically the craziest tip we ever tested. But first,
if you've ever felt like you had to choose between getting new blinds or holding on to your life savings, those fears end now, thanks to SelectBlinds.com. Select Blinds won't gouge you like those big greedy blind corporations. Just check out the over 170,000 5-star reviews on their site. Shop today at SelectBlinds.com. Mention you heard about them on a podcast at checkout and get sample swatches, absolutely free. SelectBlinds.com.
Hi, Bruce. How are you doing today?
It's great to see you again, Jen. I can't believe it's been a week since we did our last.
2 weeks. It goes so fast.
It really does, doesn't it?
Today's reader tips are pretty great. The first one I have is about making sandwiches. So if you have kids that are going to school, you're going to love this one. This tip is about round sandwich meats. I'm talking bologna and salami and those kind of sandwich meats. When you put them on a sandwich, you have all these corners that don't have meat on them.
Indeed you do.
But our reader suggested that you cut the bologna in half and then you put it on either side of the bread so that the flat sides line up with all the flat sides of the bread. And if you have 2 pieces of bologna, 4 halves, you have 1 flat side for each side of the bread, and you have no missing holes.
That is very OCD of you.
But it's brilliant.
Sense. You know what else? When you're packing your kids' lunch, let me give you another tip. You want to put the condiments on the side. So just get ketchup or mustard that you have in a little packet, because what happens is if the sandwich gets moist...
Oh, kids hate
it.
Yeah.
So always do that. You know what else I do?
What?
I cut Aiden, who's now in, 7th grade. We cut his apple. And then I put it together with a...
Yes, I've seen you do this.
It's
brilliant. Oh, no, a rubber band.
A rubber band.
Yes.
A rubber band, exactly right.
Yes, I misspoke. Yeah, you just cut the apple and then wrap a rubber band around it. And then since all of the pieces are still together like a little puzzle, then they don't get brown because they're all on the inside.
Well, and also because he has braces, he doesn't really want to bite into an apple.
Yeah.
But he will with the slices.
It's brilliant.
There you go.
It's brilliant. Even though it's not from a reader, it's brilliant. This next one from a reader is one that I have actually used, and it's using vinegar to clean a shower head. Oh. I think you know about this one because we've talked about this when we got it. It really blew our minds. What you do is you pour vinegar into a plastic bag, like a little Ziploc bag, and then you tie it with a rubber band or something else around your shower head so that the shower head is basically soaking in this vinegar. And you leave it overnight for a few hours, and then you grab a toothbrush, and all of the lime, all of the hard water, everything that's been gunking up your shower head just comes right out. Works
100%. Vinegar is a miracle.
Isn't it?
It really is. It really is. But this is fantastic way.
And in fact, today, some of the tips we're talking about that don't work, the tip that does work instead is just vinegar. It's just use vinegar. Why are you making it so hard on yourself? Just use vinegar. So we're going to get to those tips in just a minute. All of our life hacks that you may have seen online or elsewhere that we've tested that just don't work.
If you've ever felt like you had to choose between getting new blinds or holding on to your life savings, those fears end now, thanks to SelectBlinds.com. Select Blinds won't gouge you like those big greedy blind corporations, and their loyal customers seem to agree. Just check out the over 170,000 5-star reviews on their site. With Select Blinds, do it yourself doesn't have to mean do it alone. In fact, if you can hang a picture, you can hang your own blinds. And for added peace of mind, their specialists will walk you through how to measure, choose, and install your new window coverings. Choose from a selection of high-quality custom blinds, shades, and drapes. They've served over 1 million happy customers. Why not be one of them? SelectBlinds.com really is the simple and smart way to get blinds. Shop today at SelectBlinds.com. Mention you heard about them on a podcast at checkout and get sample swatches of the room darkening blinds or shades of your choice. Absolutely free. That's SelectBlinds.com.
Before we get to the tips that we have tried that don't work, I feel the need to tell a story. The story begins with me sending you an email that says, Does Jeannie know that I just ordered a bunch of ants to show up at your house? So Bruce and Jeannie always want to test every tip. And this one, we actually had, you were making a TV appearance, and they said we wanted to film some of the tips, too. So we decided to test a tip and film a tip at the same time.
This would be the ants tip you're referring to?
This would be the time we had ants shipped to Bruce and Jeannie's home. And what did you discover?
What I discovered was you can ship ants to your house. And you're supposed to store them in the freezer.
Yes!
And what we discovered is if you put ants on your counter and you put some cinnamon near them, they will not cross a line of cinnamon.
Now, to be fair, maybe if you don't freeze the ants, they will cross cinnamon. Probably frozen or unfrozen ants will not cross cinnamon.
It works even with unfrozen ants.
They said.
Cross a line
I think the mistake was buying the biting ants. They came with a little note that said store them in the freezer. And
that was rough.
Did you get bitten when you filmed it?
I got punished. I didn't get bitten. I got punished for storing ants in the freezer.
I was glad that one worked out, though, because cinnamon and ants is a great tip. It's really one of our favorites. We talked about it last week on our Favorite Tips podcast. But this is about something different. This is about life hacks that you have seen online and elsewhere, and we have tested them out, and they just do not work. So what is the first one you have for us
This really
today?
kills me because we've spent, Ginny and I, and now you, Jen, for 10 years, have spent time testing all these tips to see what works and what doesn't work.
It's kind of disappointing when they don't work.
Well, if you go on the internet, it's filled with tips, and most of them don't work, and it really rankles me. So, like, one that I see all the time is that if you've got, like, the smell of garlic or onion on your hands, just rub them against a stainless steel bowl or a spoon. It doesn't work.
Really? They even sell those stainless steel little things that you can rub your hands on.
You just should never buy.
You're saying this is $15 I shouldn't be spending
This is
at the kitchen
$15
stores?
you should not be spending. What you should be doing is putting a little lemon juice and a little salt on your hands if they smell. Just rub a little water with lemon juice and salt. That will get rid of any smell of...
like garlic and onions and things?
Absolutely. I also saw the other day on TV people separating egg yolks using like a water bottle where you just sort of suck the egg yolk into the bottle. And
I've seen this one, where it looks amazing. They have some sort of regular water bottle and all of a sudden the egg is separated. So does it work perfectly like on TV?
Well, first of all, why? So I would say that first. Second of all, no, it doesn't. It's a total mess. It's a complete disaster when you try to do it. The best way to separate egg whites from eggs is just use eggshells and go back and forth. Cut them in half, just crack them open and back and forth until the egg yolk is just in one half and the eggshell is in a bowl below. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, I've done that. And eggshells are kind of amazing. I don't know what they're made out of, but I also know that eggshells are really great if you get a little piece of eggshell in your eggs, when you're beating them. Actually using an eggshell is the easiest way to get other eggshells out of your eggs.
Exactly right.
Rather than your finger. If you try to use your finger or something, it just gets
The other thing
redder.
you want to do with eggshells is... always put them in a pitcher of water and let them sit for a couple of days and use them to water all your plants.
Oh.
It is like happy plants. Eggshells
with all the nutrients and everything.
The nutrients they're filled with nutrients. So don't throw them out at all. Just keep them and just put them in a pitcher of water and use them to water your indoor plants or outdoor plants, and you will be amazed. Great on vegetables when you're starting seeds in the spring, tomatoes and whatever. Always use eggshells.
Fantastic. Are there any other kitchen tips that don't work?
Yeah, some of them are just so ridiculous that I see. I've seen this one a lot where if you want to seed a strawberry, you take a straw and you push it through to get rid of the stem. Number one, it doesn't work. Number two, why? Just pinch the leaves and it's done. That's all you need to do.
I always hate tips that seem harder than the easiest solution. Why have a life hack if you're going to have to...
Well, there's one you see a lot that says, take your pancake mix and put it in a ketchup bottle. That way you can just pour it out onto a pan every morning and, it's not easier.
It did not work out so well when you and Jeannie tried it on Saturday morning.
First of all, it takes forever. So you just don't want to do it.
I think if you're one of those people who, is going to try to make crazy pancake creatures for your kids or something, and then maybe it's worth it, but otherwise on a day-to-day basis, just
if you want to make pancake creatures, just get a cookie cutter, a mold, and just do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah,
just
kids don't know the difference, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know what else? And my kids tried this the other day. They tried to make an iPod speaker. They take their phone and they put it in like a toilet paper roll. Have you seen this?
You cut. They online they tell you to cut a hole in the toilet paper roll container, and then it's something like put push pins on the bottom, and then you have a whole iPhone stand / speaker. So you guys tried it out.
So we did it, and it just doesn't work. I mean, it's a pain to make. It doesn't work. And all you do is that stainless steel bowl that you're not rubbing your hands against to try to get rid of the smell of onion or garlic. Just put your iPhone in that. And wait till you see how the sound is amplified. That's all you have to do. That sounds
like a much easier way to amplify sound out of your
sound. Yep.
I know one that I see a lot when I'm doing tip research for you guys is put a penny in a vase of flowers, and the penny will keep away bacteria. But I know that we have found out through research that only works if the penny is before 1981, that it's about copper content. Pennies no longer have enough copper content to work.
When you tell us the penny tip, I die a little bit. I just want you to know that. No, you're right.
Well, so what do you guys use instead of a penny? What works better?
A cap full of vodka.
Oh, of course.
A cap full of course. What doesn't vodka do? It's not just for breakfast, Jen. It actually works on your flowers. No, seriously, a cap full of vodka in your flowers, and that will keep the bacteria off them. Another thing, if you've got pillows or anything that's got mildew on it, like say you're going down, it's almost summertime, you're opening up a beach house or a cottage.
I wish.
Yes, well, if you were, here's what you would do. You would take a little bit of vodka and water, you would shake it up, you would spray it on any soft furnishing, not hard surface, any soft furnishing that has any smell, like funky, mildew smell. Vodka will get rid of everything.
Wow. So it's actually like an odor neutralizer.
It's an odor neutralizer.
Like Febreze.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Very weird. One that I have actually tried myself that failed, and I was very disappointed, was putting a wooden spoon over a boiling pot of water. This is one that you see all the time online, that just put a wooden spoon over the boiling pot and it never boiled. That pot just boiled right over. I don't know what they were talking about. Yeah. I don't know that there is any tip for that. I think maybe you just don't fill your pot.
There you
too
go.
High.
Write that down. No, there is no tip to stop things from boiling like that. Except
it's
watch the
called
pot.
science, right?
It's called science. That's how it works. So that's the thing about the internet. It's filled with these tips, and most of them don't work because they haven't been tested. They're just people who put them out there. So
yeah. Any last ones you want anyone to know about?
Oh, you know what I've seen lately? How to eat a cupcake, which is preposterous, where you cut it in half and you flip it upside down, and that way the icing won't be all over the place. Have you seen that one? No? Well,
it sounds like a messy way to eat a cupcake.
I'm glad you haven't, because it doesn't work at all. It's out there. I actually saw it on TV the other day, and they tried to do it, and it was a disaster.
It's like, so it says so the frosting is all on the inside rather than on the outside, because you have it halved.
Work. Yeah, forget it. Just
some of these are more mess than it's worth.
Well, they're more mess than they work, and they don't do anything.
And the other public service announcement that I want everyone to know: don't put your dryer sheets in dirty pots full of gunk. That dryer sheet isn't going to do anything. You read the tip; it seemed so promising. The dryer sheet is just going to loosen up all the gunk on the bottom. I left it overnight, and the next day it was just still sitting there.
It doesn't work. But you know what people think is an urban legend, but is actually true?
What?
That if you use cola in a toilet to get rid of the ring.
Yeah.
They think, how could that possibly work? The truth is, it works. Which speaks volumes to what you're drinking.
Phosphoric acid.
Look at you.
I know.
With your fancy words.
Look, the sensei does surpass the master every now and then. Yeah, it's the phosphoric acid in the cola. It's actually used in a lot of commercial rust removers, so you can, as I know you can use it as a rust remover too.
Absolutely.
You just soak things in cola and the rust comes off in frankly what's kind of a scary way.
Well, wait, one more thing about cola while we're talking. If you've got the smell of gasoline on your clothing.
Oh.
If you've ever gotten gasoline on your pants or whatever, just put them in a bucket with water and a can or two of cola.
You always find a way to bring the conversation back around to smells, don't you?
Yes, I do. America smells. Remember that.
America has a lot of smells they need to get rid of them. That's what we've found. These are great. The other one, too, that I wanted to make sure to tell people that I actually found out about on quickanddirtytips.com before we were even ever part of the Quick and Dirty Tips network was leaving batteries in the fridge.
Totally.
Which companies like Duracell and Energizer say it can actually damage the batteries. And that's when you see online a lot is keep your batteries in the fridge, but it's not good for them.
Yeah, you know what?
Your guys' fridge is crazy, though. There may be batteries in there may not, but you keep a lot of things in the refrigerator that I wouldn't
Jeannie
suspect.
keeps perfume in the refrigerator in our fridge.
Really?
Yep, because it lasts way, way longer. It doesn't lose any of its scent.
Wow.
So, and you use less, believe it or not, if you leave it in the refrigerator when you do use it.
Huh.
So, yeah. And I won't tell you what's in our freezer. Maybe that's for a next segment.
That's for some other time.
Yeah.
Well, you know what time it is, Bruce.
What time is it, Jen?
It's time for Life Hack Lightning Round.
I want music. Yes.
There'll be music. I think they have people here that do that kind of thing. Okay, so this is what we do is Life Hack Lightning Round. We get a household object that Jeannie has provided in an envelope given to Bruce beforehand. I hope that you have not cheated and steamed them open. Does steaming envelopes open actually work?
No, it doesn't. But today's household item is a hairdryer. Hair dryer. Interesting.
So how this works is
Jeannie.
that let's have Bruce go first, since I went first last time and lost anyway. And he's going to name a tip about hair dryers or a tip that you use a hair dryer for. And he will name one, I'll name one, he'll name one, and the last person who cannot name a tip is the ultimate loser. They're just a loser. That's where we'll just know that they're
All right, so here's a great tip for using a hairdryer. If you have baked a cake, and you know in the bakery how the frosting on the top is all wavy and perfect looking, you can use a blow dryer to make it absolutely wavy.
Oh,
and
you led with the good one, didn't you?
I did. Where
do you come up with these?
Mic drop, we're over here.
Well, my hairdryer tip is one that I know you guys use all the time. If you have a label or a sticker that won't come off, what's easier than all these other things that you'll read online, use this, that, cold cream, this, that, and other thing. They work, but what we found is the easiest is just a hairdryer.
Absolutely.
You just put a hairdryer on the bumper sticker on a label, and it softens the adhesive, and it pulls right off.
The simplest solution. That's exactly right. Another one, if you've got plastic sunglasses that have bent, just put a little heat on them with the hairdryer, and you can just bend them back into their proper shape.
That's a great one for summer. No more bent sunglass arms. I really like it for, I don't know if this counts as a real tip, but have you ever been traveling and your clothes are wrinkled? And you get that little, you don't really have time to iron, so I spray a little water if I have a spray bottle, or I wet it, and then I use a hairdryer. I don't know if that counts, but I think it's a good tip.
I think it counts. It's tip-ish. So
it counts for the contest.
It counts enough, yeah. Another great tip, if you've got a jacket or a tent or something, or a backpack.
Oh, this one's amazing.
Its water resistance. If it's waterproof and it's no longer waterproof, just fire it up. Put a lot of heat on it all over, and it'll reactivate the water-resistant properties.
I have another really good one that's pretty amazing for a hairdryer. If you put a diffuser on your hairdryer... You probably don't know what a diffuser is, Bruce, but the women listening in the audience and the guys with blowouts, they know what diffusers are. You put a diffuser on your hairdryer, and you can actually blow it really gently on the undersides of flowers, and it will make them bloom. If you have a bunch of flowers that haven't bloomed, you can make them bloom faster.
Indeed.
All right, any more?
Yes. Instead of a feather duster. If you've got knickknacks and a collection of something on a shelf, best way to get rid of the dust, just fire up the blow dryer. That's it.
That's a good one. I don't know if I... Wait, okay. Clean a hairdryer with a toothbrush. That's a tip. If your hairdryer starts to smell weird, like a burning smell...
Like, say, hair?
Yeah, like burning hair. You clean it with a toothbrush. There's a little vent on the back of it. Get a toothbrush. Just wipe all the dust off of it, and that's the best way to clean a hairdryer.
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think I have any other tips.
Did I win?
I think you won.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Balloons.
Wow, here are all the balloons.
Yes,
eventually people are going to start believing us when we tell them that there's balloons falling from the sky here at Quick and Dirty Tips headquarters. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have a question or a tip for us, visit us at facebook.com/whoknewtips. And don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at quickanddirtytips.com/whoknew. And tune in next week when we're doing bug tips for spring. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and wherever else you get your podcasts. See you next week, Bruce.
For more information about any of the tips that you've heard on today's podcast, just go to quickanddirtytips.com/who knew.